President Obama took something of a victory lap last week when he announced that over 7 million Americans signed up for health insurance through the Affordable Care Act. Republicans, of course, are still bitterly opposed to the law and continue to call for its repeal. But one prominent Republican says he has always supported Obamacare. Dr. Louis Sullivan served as Secretary of Health and Human Services under President George H.W. Bush and was an early advocate of several of the provisions that now make up the ACA. Sullivan's support is rooted in his personal history, which is told in his new memoir, Breaking Ground, My Life in Medicine. Dr. Louis Sullivan is here. Welcome. So here you are, you're a doctor and Republican, two groups that have not been as welcoming to the Affordable Care Act. Why are you?
Because it provides care to a significant number of our citizens who like health insurance. And as a health professional, this is my professional commitment. When I was Secretary of Health and Human Services, I was concerned that we had 37 million uninsured Americans. And in spite of the economic expansion in the 90s, we ended up with 47 million uninsured Americans by the year 2000. So we have a problem, and we really have to find ways to see that people have access to care. That's my professional commitment. That is my professional code.
You're sort of focusing on some of the things you were saying about dental care, because traditionally a lot of health insurance policies have not covered that, but the Affordable Care Act has found a way to do that, and you're concerned that now there's not going to be enough dentists.
Oh, yes. I'm concerned about a whole range of health professionals. We have a shortage of dentists, pharmacists, we are 1 million short of nurses, and this bill really will provide greater pressure on that need. So if we are to have this act really meaningful, we have to have the personnel to provide the care that this act promises. So I'm all for increasing our number of health professionals and from new kinds of health professionals as well. There's a dental therapist program that's in Alaska that's providing young people training in basic dental care so that many of the isolated tribes Indian tribes in Alaska who don't have care at all will get that care. So I'm indeed concerned about the whole range of health issues that are needed by our society, because if we're to function well, we have to have a healthy population.
And that's one of the things about Pickers. You were one of the first people to pick up on this mantra, you gotta have self-responsibility. It can't be all about what the medical community can do for you, but what you can do for yourself.
Oh, yes. In September of 1990, I released Healthy People 2000, health goals that we wanted to reach by the year 2000. These were goals that people would have to incorporate and work on themselves. Decreasing tobacco use, increasing vaccinations of our children, improving our diets, increasing exercise among our citizens. All of these have health benefits. So on the one hand, we have to improve the health system, and that's what the Affordable Care Act begins to address. But we also have to improve the health behavior of our citizens. So we're working to improve health literacy as part of that.
You grew up in the Jim Crow South, and you told your mom at one point you wanted to be a doctor. You actually ended up doing a stint here. But what was it like when what did your mom say to you when you said, I want to be a doctor?
She didn't hesitate. She said, that's great, Louis. You'd be a great doctor. So from that affirmation at that time, I had no doubt that I was going to be a doctor. I had a role model in Dr. Griffin, who was 41 miles south of where we lived in Bainbridge. He was magical. He was someone who cured people. He was highly revered in the community. He had capabilities that others didn't have. So that's what I wanted to do.
And you've done it. All right. Congratulations to you and on your new book, and thanks for coming to Greater Boston.
Thank you. My pleasure to be with you.